Okay, thank you. So today, what I want to go over is actually a post I did about 8 months ago, and that was the Christmas homework. And it's kind of relevant right now because we are probably going to be entering the summer markets. Usually, July, August is a time when the markets tend to slow down. So, like we said, don't expect some big moves. Um, Usually, there's less news around this time of the year, and you need news for the currencies to move up or down. And the more news you kind of have, the more the volatile the markets are going to be. So when the markets are quiet, it is a time for you to reflect and have a look at how can you improve what you've done in the past 6 months or so, because you might have been collecting data or journaling, or like my FX book, for example. So it's a good time to look back and have a look at things that what am I doing right or what am I doing wrong. Um, and I've given a lot of tips in here from that post. So I'm going to put the link in the webinar link later. And so just to go over a few things. So journaling is very important. I think, when you begin and even after, it tells you a lot about your trading and, what kind of trades you're taking, whether they're doing good or bad, getting out early, getting out late, all those kind of sort of things, which you can kind of go back on and then see if there was something that you could have done better. Um, then everything is about data now. Like if wherever you're working, I'm sure they are focusing a lot on data analytics. Um, and there's a lot of jobs now coming in those areas because everyone is trying to improve how they can improve their performance in the businesses. And when I was talking about here, like when I was in the cigarette industry, um, they they had loads of reports, and all they were doing was collecting data and looking at where could they have improved in terms of the factory side, the production side, and even the sales side. And it's like the smallest thing, like in the cigarette industry, um, when it comes to the flavor of the vapes, um, you'll be surprised how much research that goes into it. So like the customer, they are always asking for customer feedback and asking about the flavors, whether what do they like about this product in particular. So like in the next run, when they're trying to revamp it or update the product, they will try to keep those changes in, and then that can also affect the sales up or down. So the customer might say, "Oh, there's too much mint in this vape. I would like that to be reduced." So then they'll try and put that in to the next one, and then they could see the sales going up in the next round. Um, so yeah, and there's Power BI, as you know, there's lots of things right now. But with trading, make sure you're collecting your data because it tells you a lot about how you're trading. For me, uh, the major things that made a change for me in my stats, which I spotted, was like the trading days, the type of pairs I traded. Um, I was fairly good with entries and stop losses, but I've improved my entries slightly over the years because I always felt like sometimes I used to enter a little bit early. So I think the way I improved on that was kind of patiently waiting a little more than just putting the forward order and just leaving it. If it was an A grade, yeah, if I have a good stop and everything, then I would go for it. Uh, Things I would wait on is kind of like news. If that is if it's close by, then I would not go for it now as much as I would in the past. Um, but yeah, there's loads of tips here, so I'll put that into the blog post. But here are some of the things that have helped me to kind of improve my trading stats. And I can just go over them a few. Um, I trade my Yeah, so that's the pairs, that's the days, which ones I did well on and did not do well on. Um, then something to also consider, do you do better in London or New York sessions? Have you ever considered that? Um, some traders actually do better buying or selling, like either one of them. So it's just psychological thing. They could be just good at buying or selling, but they can't do both sometimes. So you could have a look at those stats. Are you doing well on buying or selling? And then what you can do is, let's say you're good at buying, but like you are looking to, for example, let's say sell on a pair. So like over here, let's just say this is going down for now, just hypothetically speaking here. We have made a new low, so we are making a lower high here, and then we're looking to take it down. But let's say you're not good at selling, right? So we have a future on trading where you can just flip the chart, and then you can just consider this as, oh, okay, I'm buying, and then you can just, all you have to do is put a sell. But you're looking at the chart the way you are performing. So you can do that as well. There's a few tricks that can trick your brain, but you're doing essentially the same thing. Are you holding trades long enough? I think you should know that by now, how where to take profits and where to kind of take partial profits. A good example would be the dollar yen right now. Currently, I'm just waiting for this to break above, and then I am looking to take a long. But if I was in this trade for now, so I would put my stop loss there, 60 odd pips, and target 250 odd pips over here. But I also have to look, that's a very good target for a take profit, because I can see that price has stopped here, and in the past as well, there have been points over there. But this 250 odd pips, has the price stopped before that anywhere in the area? And I can look to the left and I can see it stopped around 130 odd pips here before, where price has rejected and been a level of support and resistance. So I can go like that. Why isn't it on? I can plot a line, something like that. So I can then consider, okay, I'm going to take some profit here, partial profit, and I think it's going to go further up. Then you can leave the rest of the 30% or so to go up higher. Um, then, oh, one of the major things was I was trying to trade Earth and Sky and M2 on the same account. And then I think it was Mark Douglas. I was watching one of his videos on YouTube, and I do recommend to have a look at some of his podcasts. And he's teaching webinars. They're really good. I would recommend them if you have some time now in the summer. Go read some books on trading or money, or just have a look at some of the webinars online. For Mark Douglas, he's really good. And what he was saying was, if you're testing a strategy out, um, make sure you only take those trades for that strategy. For, let's say, you're testing a sample of 20. Make sure you don't take any other kind of trades, and you're very strict with your rules. And then you will come to know by the end of the 20 trades, let's say, how you're doing on those trades. If you have been following every rule in that strategy, what you've been testing, and you're doing well on it, if ideally by the end of the 20 trades, you are in profit. And then it all comes down to fine tuning if you can make the strategy a lot better. But yeah, if you're trading out in Sky or any other strategy, I would say try and keep it separate. Um, and Because that will tell you if you're doing well or not. Uh, yeah, I think the other ones, yeah, it's pretty simple. But yeah, I'll put this in this link later. And yeah, so regarding the news, um, we had the Aussie cash rate. I was reading their statement. They have reduced the rate. They were saying the growth has been hindering slowly. So, and also the inflation is within the target. The inflation is coming down nicely. So they felt the need to reduce the interest rate. Their neutral rate, uh, they've said, is around 1 to 4%. So we can expect a few more rate cuts, um, but not fast. It'll be like gradually. They will be bringing the rates down. So it's kind of good news for the um, mortgage owners, because I think they were saying on the 500,000 mortgage, they would be saving about, I think, $270 or something um, per month. I'm not sure. That's something I read. Then you had the pound um, employment figures. So it's not as bad. The average earning index, the average earning index has been rising very fast in the past year. So only 4.6. The claimant count change is a lot better than expected, minus 6.2 compared to the forecast, and zero economic sentiment has not been so good so far. Core CPI later, this is a very important piece of news. It can affect all the pairs, so just be careful. And this is one of those news. It's like it does not care where your stop loss is or what you think about a particular pair. It can quickly change the direction of any pair. So, the market structure and all that kind of technicals kind of go in the bin, um, because it's purely fundamental, what the banks focus on when this comes out. So just be careful. For me, I felt like the Aussie is a pair I would stay away from this week. And that's because you just have a piece of news for the Aussie every 24 hours for the next 3 days. So, like, you had this one today, then you have something in the night, and then you have again something on Thursday. So, for me, this one is not possible to kind of trade until Thursday morning. Um, so, I would rather focus on an alternative and see if I can kind of, you know, somewhat get into the Aussie type of trade. But there's a lot of alternatives this week. And then you have PPI on Thursday, and then a lot of USD news on Friday. But it's a fairly um, not such a busy week, but we have enough news to kind of move the currency pairs this week. So let's see. And then Trump, I think he's going to meet Putin very soon. I forgot the date. Um, but he's trying to make a deal, not for a ceasefire, I think, but I think it's to do with land agreements on if Ukraine can give some of the land to Russia, whatever they're fighting on. So that'll be some interesting meetings over there they're gonna have. I think it's in Alaska. I'm not sure. Somewhere they're having the meeting in the next few days. But we'll have to wait on that. If there's some kind of news for ceasefire, then we can start seeing metals go down again. Um, yeah, okay. And let's look at the dollar index. So dollar index is still holding the highs and lows. So I would not say this is in a downtrend at the moment because it's made a new high, and that could be the higher low for it to reverse and go back up. So that's what I'm having in my mind at the moment. We have the inverse head and shoulder pattern. We have the breakout. We are still getting the retest over here on the right shoulder. Unless this closes below this, I'm still in the mind that this is going to go back up. So it looks like it's giving the clue that the CPI might be hot, as in like higher than expected. So that the technicals look like that at the moment. So I'm expecting the dollar to go up on the CPI news. I might be wrong, um, but that's just my prediction. Crypto, we did almost Bitcoin try and meet the highs yesterday, uh, but just come back down again. It was kind of like expected because it's coming to all-time highs, so it's like a double top there. But the other ones, XRP is um, kind of retracing now. Ethereum is doing pretty well, holding its ground, coming to all-time highs. So it'll be interesting to see what it does there. And the rest, yeah, we're just not buying at the moment. We're just waiting for pullbacks. Right. Let me go on to the charts. So, dollar Swissy. Now, before I even do my analysis, I want to make your brains work a little bit. So, would you go for dollar Swissy or would you go for the euro? Let me know in the chat box. I'll give you 30 seconds. They're essentially the same trade, but which one do you think looks better? Alexis says USD Swissy. Peter says Euro USD. Cesar says Euro USD. Stephen says USD Swissy. Oh, it's a draw. Um, okay, well, dollar Swissy, um, we have a strong level of resistance here. 82 around number 82. I've been trading this for a few years now, so I know 82 is a very big number and it has been consolidating there for a very long time before. So we need a break above 0.82, which is the round number here. So ideally, this is you're looking for a break above here and then a retest and then a long. So overall, this is a counter trend trade because as you can see on the weekly time frame, we are still in a downtrend. But on the daily, it's kind of like what the dollar Swissy, a dollar index has done, sorry. So we were making low high, lower lows, and then this has made a high, 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 low, and then kind of like thinking to go back up again. So then it can make another high, high, and then we're looking for a retest, but you're still trading against the trend overall on the weekly time frame. But on the daily, you're kind of thinking that this could do a little pullback to the upside over here. So this is a counter trend trade as such, but it does not really have multiple reasons here because you just have the support level and a round number to go on the back of. On the euro, on the other hand, which is the opposite trade, you have the monthly 200, the daily 55 over here. So you're looking for a break below retest. You have your reasons here to put your stop above 60 odd pips possibly, and then you're looking to take it down for around 130. And again, this could be your first target, and then you could look to hold all the way down in here around 350 to the EMAs. But then again, you got to be realistic and see has it stopped somewhere before at 1.12750 is an area to watch. So it's about 300 odd pips. But I would go for this one just because I have the EMAs as a backup. And I can also put a Fibonacci on there from the highs to the lows, and you're getting the 50% Fib, 61.8 as well over here. We didn't take it because the price is above at the moment. So I am waiting for the price to break below, ideally on the daily, and then look to take the short over here and then to the downside. So just waiting for the breakout. Like I was saying in my weekly analysis post, you just got to be really patient at the moment because you might not have the moves like you might expect you're having in the past few months because the markets could slow down in the next few weeks. The pound, I'm still waiting for this one. I um, had closed it on my live account and then I closed it on Sunday, this one when the market opened. But on live account, I closed it on Friday. Um, it did come almost look like it was going to go down yesterday, but then it closed above the daily 55. So I am still waiting for this to turn around, and then I can look to take a trade. Um, I think I have it on my trading view. So it's a top pair on my trading view chart, but this is where I am looking for a reversal over here. So at the moment, we can see that it's not done the structure just yet, because you can see this high highs, high lows, high high. This has not broken this low, so it's still high low, and then this is kind of closed above now. So I need this to break this low here, retest, make a lower high, and then I can look to take the trade. So it's kind of how do you say it? It's brewing at the moment, brewing the coffee. So I'm just waiting patiently for this trade. The euro is the same, but we, as you know, you have the EMA is there, so you're waiting for the break below and then a retest to then take the sell. So essentially, the same thing is happening on these two. It's a matter of which one is going to give you the entry first. Um, I'm not looking to enter both anyway, because I would rather go full risk on just one trade rather than me managing two trades. Um, dollar CAD. Dollar CAD, I was waiting for a breakout above on the 4 hour. We did get it, but I have not got a retest yet. So my retest needs to be somewhere around here, 40 odd pips to take it back up. I don't want to take it today until the news is out because of CPI, and it's too close by. So don't want to do that. Um, it looks somewhat attractive to short, but then it's kind of a counter trend trade because you can see it broke out of the range, made a new high, high low, and it could even just go through breaking these EMAs if we get a surge in the dollar index. So I'm not really in the mind to take a counter trend trade. What I would do is, let's say we miss this entry here, it breaks above, then I look for a retest here at 139, and then look to take it back up because there's a lot of fresh room up here. That's what I'm looking to do. Dollar yen, I think I've already said this, breakout above, and then to take a long. Clearly, we've made a new high, high low. We have a consolidation there. If we get the break above, hopefully in CPI, then we can look for a retest, and then we can look to take a long. Any questions so far? You can put in the chat box, and I'll look to answer them. AUD, I don't like the AUD as much, and New Zealand as well. AUD, I'm trying to avoid this week because of the reasons I mentioned. There's just news almost every day. New Zealand would have been an option for me, but then again, I don't really like it. It's at the EMAs, it needs to break below. Then maybe you could look to take a shot like that and then down. So there's been an area where price has reacted before. It's about 60 odd pips. So it looks okay. With the Aussie, what I was observing is as well was the INR was breaking above. It broke the weekly 55. That is quite significant actually, because all this while we were under the EMAs. So that was kind of also holding the Aussie down, but now it's broken above. I'm not sure why, but it says here on TradingView rises on demand outlook. So maybe China's demand is increasing for the housing market. So that could have been raising the orders on iron ore. But if the iron ore appreciates, that usually does affect the Aussie USD positively, because that means more money is coming in as their GDP, and the iron ore prices are rising as well. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Um, that's the only reason why I was thinking to take a long on it. But if the dollar is strong, that can just go out of the window. Um, but yeah, something to watch. Euro pound, I've adjusted my entry slightly higher now because the EMAs have moved. 85, 530, 40 pips stop to take it back up. This one is very slow at the moment. It has been doing a little bit more range than the usual. It used to do about what it was doing today, 34. It's gone up to like 46. It's been doing double the daily range in the past few days. So keep an eye on it. But I have my forward order there. I will leave it in for CPI. It's done 34 and it's got another 70 odd pips to do. So that's about, uh, yeah, about 100 if it does 70 today. New Zealand CAD. I had a forward order on this. I put it in yesterday. Sure. And I liked it because we have a nice trend there going down. EMAs 761.8. My stop loss goes above the EMAs and 78.6 WIP. So meets all the rules for me. So it looks pretty good. So that's why I've put the order there. Um, New Zealand yen. I don't really like it as much. It is a trade opportunity here. 50 to go up, but CAD yen is my favorite. I put a forward order on there. It's just because it's the minor details. This broke below EMAs and came back up. And look at the CAD yen. It has actually held its ground around the EMAs. It's hold the trend line very well. That is why I like it. All the EMAs are over there as well. Price has respected the level 107 as well. So I just need a pullback for it to go back up. Aussie and like I said, I'm going to be looking to avoid Aussie pairs this week. I think out of the yens, CAD yen and dollar yen are the ones for me. Euro Aussie, it's just going sideways. And this is what I mean by some markets, you know, the quicker you observe something is in a range, like you could be at an advantage because you can take the advantage of the price where it could possibly bounce. Not to say it's going to work every time, but like over here, maybe this is the range over there. This is an anomaly, as they call it in statistics, but that's top of the range, and this is the bottom of the range. Now, in the range, what um, we recommend to do is um, go on the side of the range where you have multiple reasons to take the trade. Like over here, this is going up at the moment. So I would avoid taking a short because that's counter trend trade. But I would go for a long because I can see there is a trend line here. There's an EMA there, etc. So on the 4 hour, it might possibly look good. Slightly erratic over here, but I would have liked these EMAs to be kind of like lower on the range. Um, but essentially, what I'm looking to do is something like that. This is not like the best um, range chart that I can see. Um, New Zealand cat has been one, but it's really messy. The EMA is going through in between it, so I wouldn't recommend that one. But yeah, if I see one chart, I'll show you what I need to do. But like you want the EMAs to be at the bottom of this range because there's an uptrend and so on. So you're just looking to long um, when the price comes to those areas. Uh, Pound New Zealand. I think this one was pointed out by someone in the forum, and looking at it, it does look good. Um, this is the same what we had on Euro Aussie last week. If I take this out, I think we had a new high there being made. Price came in there, and then we had a Fibonacci, and it worked. So I think we had it like that, 61.8, and then that was a 100-pip move. So you're having the same kind of thing here. Fibonacci, you're looking at 61.8. What's the stop loss? Could be 60 odd pips. What I tend to do with this kind of volatile pairs is I don't exactly put my entry where the EMAs are. I just go a little bit below. I mean, this is 180 odd pips away. Um, I'll watch it later on is to see what CPI does something to it. But I usually go a little bit lower than what the EMAs are because these pairs don't tend to respect EMAs that well. Um, so I try to have a little bit deeper entry than what I usually do. So maybe I could go here, get a better stop as well, and then look to take it back up. But that's just something what I do usually on these kind of pairs. EURCAD is a no for me. It's in the middle of nowhere. The only thing I could think of this is a counter trend trade at 160 as a round number. But even then, yes, it's risky. Aussie New Zealand, I know some of you like this pair to trade. Not for me, but this is an interesting level to trade from. 25 odd pips to make 130. You could again put your Fibonacci in there. I love fibs. Um, fib can be somewhere around here. So you can do two options with this. You could enter here, put your stop there, or your very conservative stop could be 65 odd pips over here, and then to go back up. But yeah, again, this pair moves a lot on news, so just be careful. Then onto my trading view charts. CAD yen, again, waiting for confirmation to take the trade. USD CAD the same, waiting around here. Euro USD I've mentioned to you already, and dollar yen I've also mentioned to you. Pound Swissy, pound Swissy. It has broken high now, but it needs a pullback to take a long. So yeah, not something interesting. Pound yen, it's a very volatile pair. I'm just watching it. This trend line can go in the bin because it's not really valid anymore. No, nothing to see right now. Not interested. Let's look at pound CAD. Yeah, so like for example here, this is kind of a good range for you to trade in the summer if the price just stays in between here. And you ideally want to go and see if a long or short is better. So like over here, maybe you can think of a long from here to here. That's about 100 pips. And then if it breaks below this, you can look to take a short from here to here. So something like that possibly. But at the moment it's going up, so you could go with the trend and then take it back up again. Okay, any pairs that I haven't looked at? I know some of you trade different pairs. I'll go on to Earth and Sky then. Earth and Sky, we have 4 pairs this week, and they actually look pretty good. We have the EURCAD first, and going with the trend, then you're looking to take a long at 159.80 anywhere in here, and you're looking to put your stop there below the EMAs and then to take a long to the upside. Um, the potential on this, I just want to see if this has been higher than this before. Where's the chart? So if you look at the weekly chart, this is actually already at all-time highs, like before, where prices reacted quite a few times there. So it's this one is possibly good enough for a day trade, 34 pip stop to take it up here, and then I would get out because the price has reversed and come down again before. Um, but yeah, it's good for a day trade, and that's about it. Euro yen, again, it's already at all-time highs. So you trying to catch a very big move on this is very unrealistic. It's around 70 to make 160. It's not too bad. It's a good risk reward. Um, but yeah, don't look to get huge profits on this pair because if you go on the monthly chart, you'll see that it's already at all-time highs. So it's all-time highs somewhere here, like the way it is over here previously. Um, CAD yen, like I mentioned, it looks very good. Pound yen, I don't recommend to trade this pair too much because it's very volatile. You can see here it's done the same, whatever it does, whatever it wants usually. It's gone down. You would have thought this would be a downtrend now, and then it just reverses and goes back up. Um, so yeah, just be careful with it. But if you're entering anywhere around 197.50, 70 pips stop to take it back up, looks pretty good in that terms. Um, And the last one, Pound New Zealand, which is the one I liked on the 4 hour on M2. And you can see that it is also lining up on Horizon Sky. So that's a clue for you that, okay, this setup probably looks strong because it is lining up on two strategies that are well known to work historically. Um, so you could look to enter on this pair as well in around the same area, put your stop loss below the EMAs and look to take it back up. So that you're looking around 2.2540 on the Earth and Sky. I think on M2, I'm looking closer to 2.2520 around in here. So that is around the same, a little bit high on here. But it's, yeah, it looks good on both the strategies. Okay. Any questions? Or we can look to end the webinar a little bit early. Gold. Let me go on to my gold chart. Think that I think I showed you this area a few weeks back, and I was saying you can look at the supply zones, and you can see that it reacted in the same area. And this is the same thing I've been saying, like look at the New York highs and lows and look where it reacted. So that would have been a good buy. And the price tapped into it and went back up. So you're looking around the same area again for the price to come in and then look to take a trade. But apart from that, I don't look to trade it all the time because you're looking at very strong areas to take a trade on gold. I usually don't go in the middle anywhere because I find it a lot more riskier because it can tend to have spikes like this, and these spikes are no joke. Like they can be 100 pips, even 200 pips. So you need to get really good entries on gold. Um, but yeah, but I don't usually watch it a lot. Just I have a glance once in a while, like once a week, and just see where it is because I'm also looking at what is happening with the overall picture. Um, but yeah. Do I have anything else to look at? Mm, nothing to do much in crypto. Everything is going up at the moment. Um, what's Screw doing? Looking to sell some of my stake in here, but it's not there yet. Um, okay, if there's no more questions, means I've done a good job today. So thank you. And I will post the homework for you all. Go through that. Yeah, if you go on YouTube, check out Mark Douglas. I would say I'll put a link for him in the write-up. Um, you know, just do some work. You might not be so busy this month, so just try and have a look at your stats, have a look at what are you doing wrong, and what you are doing right, and learn from it. And that's the only way you will be able to be a better trader. And then this is like the midpoint of the year, so take your time, look at the trade history, and then see what you can improve for the next 6 months. So then when we come to December again, the month is going to be quiet. You're going to have a lot of bank holidays, people going off on holidays. So the market is going to be usually like what you expect to be in the summer markets. So then that is the time to spend time with family and also look at what you've been doing in the past 6 months when you look back. So yeah, good luck. And if you need any help, just give me a shout in the forum, and uh, me or anyone else will be able to help you with whatever question you have. But take care. Good luck for the week. Stay safe around CPI. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.